Are you trying to scale beyond £1 million GDV? Then you need to understand one of the biggest silent project killers in the UK right now, nutrient neutrality. Many developers find strong sites, the numbers stack, and then the deal collapses at planning. Not because of design, not because of finance, because the site sits within a nutrient neutrality catchment. And without addressing it early, your application can be rejected before it even begins, costing you time, fees, and momentum. This is where most developers get caught. They understand development fundamentals, but miss regulatory barriers that operate at planning level. Nutrient neutrality is one of them. It's designed to protect sensitive water bodies, but in practice, it has stalled projects across large parts of England. If you're not factoring this in from day one, you're not structuring a deal. You're exposing it to failure. Before we go deeper into nutrient neutrality, you need to understand the core driver of every development: planning gain. This is where real value is created. Land valued at £10,000 to £25,000 per acre can become £500,000 to £1.5 million plus just through planning permission. That uplift is your profit. But most developers get this wrong. They focus on build costs and underestimate planning complexity. S106, CIL, environmental constraints. These aren't minor details. They directly determine whether your deal works or fails. At scale, a single planning decision can define your entire project outcome. And this is where the real problem begins. The UK planning system is layered. S106 obligations, CIL charges, biodiversity net gain, nutrient neutrality. Each adds cost, delay, and risk. Most developers treat these as secondary. They're not. They're often the reason deals collapse. If you're not factoring these in from day one, you're not structuring a deal. You're exposing it to failure. Nutrient neutrality is a classic example of an unseen cost that can derail even the most promising projects. It requires new developments to prove they will not increase nutrient pollution, mainly nitrogen and phosphorus, in protected waterways. If your site falls within one of the 74 designated catchment areas across England, your planning application can be stalled or rejected until neutrality is proven. That means securing and funding mitigation. The mistake is timing. Most developers don't check early enough. They invest months, sometimes years, into design and planning, only to discover this constraint late. The result? Capital uncertainty, wasted professional fees, and serious delays, sometimes forcing viable projects to be abandoned. That's exactly why I built the Planning Route Decoder. Because most developers don't fail on the deal. They fail on what they didn't check early enough. The tool works as an early-stage planning diagnostic. You input key details about your project: the project type, property type, planning constraints, and intended outcome. From there, it maps your planning route and flags the critical risks that could impact your scheme. You immediately understand where your project stands, what constraints apply, and how they affect your planning strategy and overall viability. If there are no major constraints, you move forward with confidence. If there are, you address them early, before time, fees, and momentum are committed. This is not just a check, it's an institutional tool, designed to help you structure decisions properly, reduce planning risk, and move forward with control. The tool is complementary. At PCMA, we operate on an integrated model. Strategy and execution are not separate. They work together. You are supported by an expert team, planners, architectural designers, and development specialists working alongside you on real projects. Not just advising, actually moving the project forward. Let me illustrate how this plays out in a real project. We worked with an active entrepreneur on a site in rural Somerset, a former agricultural building sitting within a sensitive nutrient neutrality catchment. The strategy was straightforward: acquire the barn, convert it under permitted development, and then scale the scheme to 5 residential units through full planning. On paper, the numbers worked. But once the application was submitted, the project stalled. For 8 months. Not because of design, not because of finance, because of nutrient neutrality. At that point, most developers would either delay indefinitely or walk away. Instead, our planners stepped in early to quantify the exact nutrient impact and structure a mitigation strategy. We sourced off-site mitigation credits, negotiated a package, and secured the required allocation. That single move unlocked the entire scheme. Planning was approved for 5 units, with an estimated GDV of £1.8 million. Without that intervention, the outcome was very different. Over £30,000 in sunk professional fees and a missed profit in the region of £400,000. This is the difference. Not just understanding the constraint, but having the structure to resolve it and move the project forward. The common mistakes active entrepreneurs make with nutrient neutrality are consistent. 1. Late checks. Not identifying the issue until months into the planning process. 2. Budgeting errors. Failing to account for mitigation costs in the initial appraisal. 3. DIY mitigation. Attempting to design and implement complex mitigation strategies without expert guidance. The PCMA approach is proactive engagement. Our expert planners carry out early-stage due diligence, identify the specific nutrient burden, and develop a structured mitigation strategy, whether through credit purchase or on-site solutions. This institutional approach protects your capital, reduces planning risk, and ensures your project remains viable and deliverable. Ultimately, this is about safeguarding your portfolio from unforeseen liabilities. Don't let nutrient neutrality become the silent project killer in your next development. If you're actively deploying capital and looking to scale beyond smaller projects, the shift is not more information. It's structure and execution. PCMA members with active projects use structured tools to assess these constraints before committing capital. If you're evaluating a site, use the Planning Route Decoder below. It shows your position clearly, so you understand the impact before moving forward. We've made it available for serious developers who want clarity before they move. And if, after that, you want support executing the strategy, you can apply to work with us. You will also gain access to additional tools within the portal to explore scenarios and refine your approach further. Link below.